Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are talking about dive in Eternal Return and how to survive the dive as a fragile backliner. Okay, I'm going to go over two clips. Recently, ERCS Season 11 Phase 1 was this past weekend, and it inspired me. So I'm going to go over that clip and as well a one circle clip for the first clip. This was a couple seasons ago, maybe like Season 9, maybe? I don't really remember. But before I get into these clips, let's talk about the mentality, okay? Number one, good dive should kill you. An assassin or a dive character's entire identity and agency in this game is killing you as a fragile backliner, right? So if you play into them and you walk into their range and they use their tools correctly, they should kill you. In a just world, in a balanced game, Daniel should one-shot you without you having any interaction. So you might look at like Daniel, Shoichi, Istvan as like broken characters because they can one-shot you with no interaction or whatever, but like that is their agency, right? And if you get your full agency on your character, you can also do a million damage, right? So it's all about how you play fights and how you position, right? Because of that, you should not be thinking, how do I play the dive better? You should be thinking about, how do I not get dove in the first place? Most of the time, the answer to that is don't be there. Okay, we'll get into both of these clips. Both of those are very similar of to don't be there. And the other idea is that you're sending your tank forward like a Pokemon. It sounds a little reductive, but it's kind of the truth. You're sending your front line forward. You're using your teammates kind of as a bait to get the enemy to use as many resources as possible to allow you to flip the fight back in your favor. Okay? So I'm going to play this clip once, completely unaided. I'm not going to pause it or anything. And then I will go over it afterwards. So I'll full screen. That A click was weird. Anyway, he wins this. He wins this, and he wins this largely 1v3. You might look at this as like one circle's so good, like he won a 1v3. All he did was just like use damage spells in the direction at the end. That wasn't the impressive part, right? So let's go forward and let's analyze. We have a Jackie and a Kenneth, and we're versus Daniel, Istvan, Jackie. This is a nightmare comp for like any immobile backliner, and he has flash, so like he's like fine. But look at what he does, right? He backs full. We see Kenneth ult go down, and then we see Istvan ult here, and Daniel ult is used as well. And then once we see the Istvan ult, we actually immediately ult back in, right? We all in, and we're focusing on damaging the Jackie here because she's gonna get a reset when we kill the Kenneth. And we kill the Jackie here, and then we're just DPSing afterwards, right? So what did we do different than what your normal NA backliner would do? We are completely off screen. Like we're not under any threat. Even if Jackie like eased forward here, we can flash. There's actually a blast plant behind him too, so he's like super safe. So there's no threat of him dying. He analyzes this problem ability, this funnel right here, and then immediately when it is used, he has decided that he can no longer die to these characters, right? He analyzes the matchup, he knows his kill threat very well, and then he immediately goes to play a seemingly losing 2v3, even though his other teammate is dead, right? So this is the sort of idea. You send your front line forward, you analyze what abilities need to be used for you to be able to walk forward, and once they have been used, then you play, no matter how much down you are, right? It requires a bit of an ego, it requires knowledge of the matchups, but again, the series is about mid-level ideas and how to get better at Eternal Return, right? Mid to high level ideas. So, into the clip. Oh my lord, that's so loud. I have these muted, by the way, so that no copyright strikes. But again, I'll have you watch this completely. Um, why is it on 360? I won't pause it. I won't do anything. I won't say anything. Just watch the clip and see how the backline plays, right? And just see how the fight plays out. Actually, it's a pretty long clip. Alright, and from here, the fight is pretty much won. Importantly to note, before we analyze this clip, Berserkers is running a triple dive comp and playing this kind of similar to how Uberman has been playing this for like a season and a half with their Yan IRM comp, where you have somebody on a flank, or maybe both people on a flank, you give them space, and as soon as they stand in the middle, you like triangulate on their position to no matter where their backline kites into, they're kiting into a person, which means even when they're flashing away, they're still flashing into a body, and they can take more damage, right? And Wemo knows against dives that they're playing that sort of way, right? So we're instantly sending a recon to the flank. We've pre-warded the bush. We've used this vision plant. We've gotten as much info as we possibly can. And we know Eclipse wants this side angle. So we've rewarded. We're like sending poke. And then we're back clicking. We're completely S-keyed around this one vision plant. Or this bush. We're sending some poke. And then as soon as Eclipse Strider's here, we actually back up. Like we stop the poke completely. And we've sent Wisu forward as this Pokemon that is just completely unkillable, right? You might just be like, well, Alonzo's broken, whatever. But like this is how you have to play, right? We're under no threat of getting killed by Bianca Dive, and Hyunwoo cannot sustainably 1v2 these two backline characters. So we're completely safe. And then we actually force Bianca's flash. And this is the moment that they decide they can actually play this fight. They use the Theo ult forward. They get full value out of it because there's no walls, it's full open. And then we actually we monkey wire flash ult forward, and we force Coffin and Bianca ult here, right? And so then we've used all of Bianca's buttons defensively. All of a sudden the fight's completely won. Now, Nongja does get wall stunned here, but it doesn't matter, right? We have two backliners that are shredding them completely, dominating the fight. And we've ruined the agency from these dive characters completely. We ruined Eclipse's agency by not giving him a flank angle on the backside, and then we've ruined Bianca's agency by not allowing her to get a flash ult engage on the backline in order to one-shot our backline, right? So it wasn't that they played like the dive very well, it's they positioned very well in the first place, and they used their tank in order to use those resources. So they made sure that they didn't get dove in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. That is the full idea. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment down below or DM me on Discord. Thank you so much.